Every culture across Asia has one rule they all agree on. Do not spend a ghost month alone. Most people laugh it off, just like Wei did when his grandmother warned him on the phone. And just like the others whose stories we found buried in forums and late-night posts that nobody was supposed to see. But here's the question that will follow you after watching this. If none of it is real, then why do the stories all end the same way? Every grandmother in Malaysia knows the rule. Every auntie in Taiwan knows it. Every old man sitting outside a temple in Bangkok or Seoul or Osaka knows it too. You do not stay alone during the 7th lunar month. You just don't. And this story, and this one right here, is exactly why that rule exists. This actually happened. The person it happened to posted about it themselves. Do first on a Malaysian Chinese community forum. Then pieces of it spread to other places where people share things that keep them up at night. The details are real. The location is real. We changed his name and a few small things to protect him. But everything that matters. Every warning, every sound, every moment where his stomach should have told him to run. All of it is exactly as he described it. His name for this story is Wei. Wei was 20 years old, studying at a university in the Petaling Jaya area just outside of Kuala Lumpur. He lived in a mid-floor unit of a tall residential block, the kind of building with thin walls and a long hallway that always smelled a little like someone else's cooking. He had 2 roommates, good guys, he said. But that August, they both went home to their families for a few weeks. Wei had deadlines. Where he stayed, the apartment felt different the first night alone. Not scary different, just bigger. His footsteps sounded louder than usual. The hum of the refrigerator felt closer. He made a cup of instant noodles, sat at his desk, and told himself it was nice to finally have some quiet. He had not looked at the lunar calendar. He did not know, or maybe he had chosen not to think about it, that he had stayed behind during the 7th month. Ghost month. The 30 days when, from China to Malaysia to Japan to Korea, people have believed for thousands of years that the boundary between the living and the dead goes thin as paper. The gates open, the spirits come out, the hungry ones are the lost ones, the ones who died with things left undone. They wander, they look for warmth, they look for an open door or an open window. Like his grandmother had called 2 days before his roommates left. She had that tone, calm on the outside but tight underneath. She asked if he was coming home. He said no. She paused for a long time. Then she said softly, "At least don't open the windows at night." He said okay. He even meant it. But by the time he ended the call, the thought had drifted away like smoke. 4 nights in, just past midnight, he was reheating leftover rice when the smell reached him. Sweet and thick and dark. Say, like burning paper, like incense, like the little roadside offerings he had walked past all week. On the sidewalk downstairs, he thought nothing of it. Then the apartment got stuffy. Without thinking, he walked to the window and opened it. His grandmother's voice came back for just 1 second. He even paused with his hand on the latch. But it was so hot. And he told himself she was just being superstitious, the way old people are, and he let the window stay open and went back to his food. He had just picked up his chopsticks when the sound came floating out from behind the closed door of the empty bedroom at the far end of the hall. Humming, tuneless and soft, like someone settling in. Wei put his chopsticks down. The rice cooled on the plate in front of him. He stood in the yellow kitchen light and listened, and the humming did not stop. Wei told himself it was the pull of the pipes. Old buildings make sounds, everyone knows that. He even said this out loud, quietly, to no one, which is a strange thing to do unless some part of you is already trying to convince yourself that you are not alone. He stood at the kitchen counter for almost a full minute, not moving. On the chopsticks resting across the edge of his bowl, eyes fixed on the hallway, the humming stopped. He breathed out. See, pipes. old building sounds. He picked up his chopsticks again, and then in the silence that followed, he heard something worse. A soft, slow creak, the kind a mattress makes when weight shifts on top of it. It came from behind that same closed door, steady and patient, like someone sitting down and getting comfortable on the bare mattress his roommate had left behind. This actually happened. He wrote about this part in detail because it was the part he could not explain away, not even to himself, standing right there in his own apartment at midnight. He said the creak had a patience to it. Like whatever was making it was not in a hurry, like it had all the time in the world. He set his bowl in the sink, and he did not eat the rest of his food. He walked straight to his bedroom, not toward that door, and sat on his bed with his back against the wall and his phone in his hand. He thought about calling someone, his mom, his roommate, anyone. But it was past midnight. What would he even say? He was 20 years old. He told himself to grow up. He put in his earbuds and tried to sleep. He did not sleep for a long time. When he finally drifted off around 3 in the morning, his bedroom light was still on. Something he had not done since he was maybe 8 years old. He told himself he just forgot to turn it off. He knew that was not true. The next morning, everything looked normal. Sunlight came through the kitchen window, the same window he had left open all night. He closed it, drank his coffee, and spent the day convincing himself that an old building had made old building sounds, and his grandmother's phone call had planted ideas in his head. He even started typing a message to his roommate about it, then deleted it because it sounded too strange to explain. But that evening, as the sky turned orange outside, Wei found the first real sign, and this one was not a sound. He was passing the hallway on his way to the bathroom when he stopped. The air near the empty bedroom door was cold, not cool like air conditioning. Cold like the inside of a refrigerator, sharp and still, sitting in one place like a wall. He held his hand out and moved it slowly back and forth. Warm, cold, warm, cold. He could feel the exact line where the temperature changed. Less than 2 feet from the door, he pulled his hand back. The door was closed. No gap, nothing different that he could see, but the coal sat there like it lived there, like it had been there for a while and had no plans to leave. He did not open the door that night. He moved his phone charger to the living room. He ate standing up in the kitchen with every light on. He checked the front door locks 3 times, and when he finally lay down, he heard it again, the humming. Closer now. By the 3rd night, Wei had stopped trying to explain things away. That takes something out of you, the part of your brain that works hard to keep you calm starts to get tired, and when it gets tired, the fear fills in the space it leaves behind. He wasn't sleeping well. He wasn't eating full meals. He would start tasks and stop halfway through because he kept listening, kept waiting. Han kept feeling the back of his neck go tight every time the apartment went quiet, and the apartment went quiet a lot. He had started keeping the television on around the clock, just loud enough to fill the rooms with human-sounding noise. It helped a little. But no matter how loud he kept the TV, he could still feel that cold spot waiting outside the empty bedroom door. He checked it every day now, reaching his hand out and pulling it back. Warm, cold, warm, cold. Like he was confirming to himself over and over that, yes, this is real, this is still happening, I'm not making this up. On the 4th day alone, something changed. He woke up just after 4 in the morning, not from a sound, but from a feeling, the feeling of being watched. If you have ever woken up that way, you know what it means. Your eyes open fast, dying, not slowly the way they do when an alarm pulls you out of sleep, but all at once, like something snapped them open from outside. Wei described it exactly like that. He went from fully asleep to fully awake in less than a second, and before he even remembered where he was already sitting up and staring at his bedroom door. It was open. He had closed it before he went to sleep. He always closed it now. But it was open, maybe 30 centimeters wide, just enough to see the dark hallway beyond, and past that, just barely visible in the darkness, the door to the empty bedroom, also open. He had not touched that door once in 4 days. He sat in his bed and did not move. The apartment was silent except for the television murmuring in the living room. Nothing moved. And Wei wrote that the open doors felt less like something had come in and more like something was inviting him to look, like it had been patient enough, like now it was ready. He reached for his phone. No signal, not 0 bars, just a spinning icon. His Wi-Fi was out too. The router light across the room was completely dark. He didn't remember turning any of it off. He got up. He pushed his bedroom door open wider with one finger and the cold hit him immediately. Not just near the empty bedroom now, but filling the entire hallway, wall to wall, thick enough to feel in his lungs. And from where he stood, he could see just enough of the empty room to see the bare mattress had an indent on it. A body-shaped indent pressed down like someone had been lying there for a long time. He stepped back, closed his door, pushed his desk chair under the handle and sat on the floor with his back against the bed until morning. When the sun came up, the cold was gone. The empty bedroom door was closed. The mattress was flat and smooth. He packed a bag. He called his mother. He did not explain why. She said she was glad. Wei got out. That matters. He listened. Late, but he listened. And he left, and he did not go back to that apartment alone for the rest of Ghost Month. Some people in these stories are not that lucky, and that is the part that stays with you after the lights go out. Because here is what we know. The cold that lives in one spot and does not move. The sounds from empty rooms. The things that open doors that were closed. These details do not come from one story. They come from dozens of them. Posted by different people in different countries across years and years of Ghost Month accounts on forums in Malaysia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea. The specifics change. The patterns do not. And the accounts that end the worst always have the same thing in common. Someone stayed alone, someone ignored the warning, and then the warning stopped being small. Wei's grandmother knew. She did not know the details. She did not need to. She had simply lived long enough to understand that some things older than us have rules. And the rules exist because people learned them the hard way, across generations, across borders, across 1,000 quiet apartments where someone once left a window open on a hot Ghost Month night and did not understand what they had let in. And there's something worth sitting with in that. The idea that the people who came before us tried to protect us, and we walk right past the protection because we think we are too modern, too educated, too grown up to be afraid of the 7th month. Wei was all of those things too, right up until he was not. If you are reading this during the 7th lunar month, check the calendar. Then, if you are alone, maybe do not be. Close the windows before dark. Do not leave empty rooms empty for too long, because emptiness, in this month especially, has a way of filling itself. And if you ever feel the air go cold in a hallway where it should be warm, do not stand there checking it with your hand. Do not wait to be sure. Pack the bag. Call your mother. Go home. The ones who stayed to find out what it was, those are not the stories with good endings. Those are the ones that stop mid-sentence in a forum post from years ago, never updated, the account never seen online again, and we found a few of those too. But that is a story for another time. For now, remember Wei, remember the window, remember that his grandmother told him clearly and kindly exactly what not to do. And that the only reason we are telling his story instead of something much worse is that he finally, just barely, listened.